Welcome back. It's Kelly
And Danny.
with the Webb Connection.
The Webb Connection.
Hope you enjoy this one. So, this is what I was kind of thinking about. So, I've been an insurance agent for 34 years, believe it or not. And I have just seen...
Hard to believe.
I mean, I know I don't look anywhere near 50 or anything like that. But no, I think things have changed so much from when I started until now. And it's amazing how... Well, not amazing. It's sad that people don't understand where the insurance industry is going and why it's going that direction. And it's pretty upsetting that insurance is such a huge part of families' budgets anymore. Like, it's out of control.
Right. Well, I will tell you this, before you, insurance for me all those years ago was just that, an expense. And I understood that the state required it as a law enforcement officer. I absolutely understood that aspect of it. But even as a younger person, that was just something that was expensive. And you don't really wrap your mind around the absolute necessity for that. And I would think as an insurance agent, that would probably be one of the tough things to convey to young customers, especially when it comes to life insurance.
Absolutely. So I think I want to try to explain a little bit of why the insurance industry is in such a crisis right now. We see all these catastrophic disasters happening everywhere. Unless you have an insurance mind, I mean, maybe some people think about this, but every time I see anything like that, I see huge numbers of just money, billions of dollars going out to help people rebuild their lives. Yes.
Hurricanes.
And unfortunately, in the last 4 or 5 years, I mean, it has just been disaster after disaster after disaster. And unfortunately, as an insurance company, what do we have to do, right? We have to have reserves. So we have money set aside to pay future claims. We invest that money. But when our projections as companies, they come together every year, and of course we project the worst. But unfortunately, like this last year or two, those projections were completely off. So unfortunately, when a company's reserves go down, they have to raise rates, right?
Right.
So I think the number one thing is, well, I didn't have a claim, right? If you didn't have any accidents and you have a perfect driving record, do you think your insurance should go up?
I used to think that.
Yeah. So sadly,
I used to think that way.
Yeah, and I can totally see that. Like, hey, I've paid my part. I've never used it. Why is my insurance so expensive? But sadly, you have to look at insurance as I explain it kind of like this. If I had a fishbowl on my desk, and Joe comes in and gives me his $100, and Sarah comes in and gives me her $100, and so all these months of collecting all this money, Joe needs $6,000, but Sarah doesn't. So that's the transfer risk, that you put your money in that fishbowl and hope that you never use it. But unfortunately, guess what? We had to use Joe's money to help Sarah, or Sarah's money to help Joe.
Right.
That's why your insurance just goes up and up, because we're paying so much money out. And if an insurance carrier cannot get above that and be profitable, then unfortunately, I mean, that's a crashing situation.
Yeah, they won't be in business for very long.
No. So it's kind of scary, but there's a lot of things you can do. Unfortunately, people kind of look at insurance sometimes as a maintenance policy, right? Don't make insurance claims unless you absolutely have to. And that's what carriers are actually going more towards, these high deductibles being like, they're not going to let you have $100 deductible. They're not even on homes, like $1,500 is the lowest deductible. And on big policies, like commercial policies that are high dollar, some of those are $10,000 deductibles. But they're trying to rebuild this industry to get money back, our reserves and everything back up so that there are affordable coverages. And so I don't know. Does that make a little bit of sense?
It does, but I would tell you, and we've had this discussion before, when I was a younger person and didn't appreciate the value of insurance, I wanted the least amount of coverage because it was cheaper.
Yeah.
Now, having spent some time with you, I know that you are not an agent that advocates for that.
No.
And it has nothing to do with what you want personally for you and for your pocketbook and your agency.
Right.
You advocate for good rates and good coverages. And I think that would be something to talk about here, because I think that's important for people to understand, and especially the young people like I was. I wanted, and I forget what the numbers were, 25, 51, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know all that really, but we've had those discussions, and you have mentioned that you don't terribly appreciate agents that advocate for those things.
I know it's kind of sad that I say this, but they'll give an insurance license to anybody as long as you pass your test.
Yeah.
It's more than that. I mean, 25, 50, 25, what he's talking about is liability limits. Actually, in the state of New Mexico, the state requires 25, 50, 10, or 15. I think it's 10. So what those limits are, the most important part of your auto insurance policy is bodily injury coverages. If you have an accident and it's your fault, that $25,000 pays for bodily injury for somebody in the other car per person. $50,000 total accident. Last figure there is $10,000 property damage. I mean, when's the last time you were able to buy a pretty decent family car for $10,000, right? But we're selling it like that.
Right.
And so sadly, people they're not educated enough to know what to buy. And when you go online and shop for your own price, you're looking for price, right? Not coverage, most online shoppers. But unfortunately, I mean, and I'm shocked at the number of clients that come in that have, they're wealthy clients and they have a lot of assets and they have this low liability limit.
Well, and I get that if they shop for their insurance online, they probably aren't educated on what you're talking about here. But I know your frustration comes a lot from people that come to you from another carrier that actually has
it's
agents.
Shocking. I mean, unless
in
those
the area, and these folks that still have these kinds of low coverages.
Right. And I think that's where you have to set agency standards. Like, we don't quote 25, 50, 25. We're not in business to sell the cheapest insurance. We are in business that when you have a claim, everything that you need to have replaced, that the money is there to replace it.
Yeah, that's not for you.
No.
That's not for you.
Right. That's educating your client. And I'm shocked how many people come in with these, their declaration pages, their policy, and they had no idea what they were paying for, what the coverage would do for them. That
they were absolutely underinsured.
Yes. I tell them, would you drive naked? If that was a choice, would you drive naked? I've really said that to some people.
I might.
I mean, you have to watch who you say it to, but they're like, well, absolutely not. Well, you kind of are. And the thing is, you're paying money, right? So if you're already paying money, you'd be shocked doubling those limits is about $3 a month. People don't know that. And so, but I tell you what, if you're paying good money, no matter what you're paying, when you have that accident, you want that coverage to do what you thought it was supposed to do, right?
Yeah. So shame on the agent that underinsures there.
Insurance is only as good as your agent. I've said that for years. I learned that from my old State Farm guy, but I believe it even more so now. So, but yeah, educating the client, that's what we do a little bit differently. And we are about saving money, right? Like there are ways to save money. So we try to educate them on, your driving record. I mean, that's your part that you can do, right? We have programs. All these companies have programs for distracted driving. And so if you are using some of those tools to get your discounts, that's all on you. I mean, don't text and drive. Helps.
Yeah. So to that end, one of my lieutenants has one of these devices that, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, he drives like an elderly person. I followed him to his house to help him with a project a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. I think I knew who you're talking
Yeah,
about. He
I'm
got
sure.
a big old fat discount, though.
Yeah, yes, he did. So I'd rather drive faster.
Yeah, no.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not insuring you anymore then. But no, these are the things that you need to know, what the coverage does. We take the time with people. The most important policy we sell is life insurance, but that's the policy that's purchased the least.
Yep.
You know why? It's a choice. If you have a lien on your car, you're making payments on your car, got to have insurance. Financial responsibility in the state of New Mexico, got to have insurance. Mm-hmm. I got a mortgage on my house. I got to insure my home.
Yeah, if it's mandatory, it's easy.
It's way easy. But would you rather have money to fix your car or have money to rebuild your life if your husband passed away? God forbid,
Well, we've had this discussion too. And as a young man at the age of 21, maybe 21, 22, first year out of the Army, living in Las Vegas, met life, Snoopy. Met a gentleman that I didn't realize at the time he was recruiting me to sell insurance, and he got me signed up for this, I don't know, it was weeks long class to sell life insurance. And I hung in there. And again, I'm 21 years old, right out of the Army. As far as I was concerned, I was bulletproof. I didn't need health insurance, none of this stuff. And I personally couldn't see the value in life insurance.
Bet you didn't sell very many policies, did you?
I didn't. The very last night of the program, I just didn't show up. I quit.
Nice.
I couldn't.
I've hired people like you.
Yeah, we've talked about this. So, but at the age of 21, I absolutely didn't see the value in life insurance, even though I sat for weeks in front of the folks that teach you to sell it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if they failed to make me see, or if I personally was just not going to have it.
Yeah.
So that, to me, probably is one of the largest obstacles for an agent to get over, is making somebody see the value in insurance itself, like I said earlier, but specifically to see the value in life insurance, like you said, is absolutely the most important product you sell to your clients.
Well, and I think that's where we can't sell products. How boring is that, right? Would you like to buy an auto policy? No. You've got to see the benefits. You've got to see what that policy can do for you when you need it, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how we try to sell. It's not even about selling. It's just really taking care of people to where that policy is going to do what they need it to do, right? I mean, sadly, GoFundMe has become the new life insurance, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't get it. I drove by, so sad, a car wash that was actually being used. It said funeral car wash. Hit me right here because it's so sad. I can't even imagine losing a loved one, already being in that state of mind, losing somebody, and then trying to figure out how we're going to help this family.
Have that added stress to your already stressful life.
Yeah. So, but that's where all the years, everything has changed, but the bottom line is everybody still needs this coverage. We can't afford to replace our cars. That's why we have insurance. But use it wisely. You don't want to turn in every little claim. That's why we're where we are today, I think.
So how do you get a new employee on board with selling life insurance?
Well, for sure, the passion that I have when I sell, like if they watch me, I mean, they start seeing it over and over. But yeah, I mean, you've got to hit those heartstrings. When we sell life insurance, it's an emotional sale on both sides. So you've got to get people to really feel the need of that, because what is it? It's nothing, right? It's a piece of paper. And sadly, the policy you buy on yourself, you'll never be around to see what that does.
Right.
But I've seen it. And when that's how, I mean, you've got to figure out how to have those people feel that for a minute, sadly.
Don't hit me for this.
Oh, boy.
But I think probably it would be important to talk about your own situation that you're aware of that happened in, I think, December 2017. That after that kind of became your go-to when talking to some people about life insurance.
Right.
So
You're going to just make me cry. That's
maybe.
not nice. Yeah, I lost my nephew, young man. I think he was 26. He was actually headed home from Pagosa Springs for Christmas.
Yep.
And
Baby in a truck.
you.
Baby in a truck.
Yeah, had actually called and checked in with me. Had some questions about something, and anyhow, sadly, they were in a really horrible car accident. Hit some black ice and spun their car into oncoming traffic. And unfortunately, my nephew didn't make it. His wife did, and his child, a toddler. But
What was his insurance status?
none that I knew of. No life insurance. So when everybody has these stories in their life. I mean, think of losing a parent and maybe not having the money to pay for their burial or anything like that. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, just everybody has the story, and you've got to be ahead of that story. You don't want to be that statistic, you know?
Right.
And it's so affordable. I mean, we have plans for everybody. It's affordable. You can do it.
Oh, I mean, he was a healthy young man, age 26. He
Yeah. And
probably could have had $250,000 life insurance for.
yep, pretty cheap. So anyhow, when you see it firsthand and it's somebody you love and care about, I mean, they had just purchased a home in Colorado, and luckily she had family here, but she did have to move back to the area to be around family to kind of get back on her feet. And
I remember.
and like I said, everybody has this story, and it's something that can be, you know, taken care of with life insurance. Easy enough. But anyhow, let's talk about something fun before we head out of here.
Okay, go.
I don't know.
So, what are you going to talk about next episode?
Gosh, let's see. What do people want to know?
Everything.
Let's talk about everything.
Okay, we'll do that.
We'll do it. We'll be back.